Hi and welcome to Polly Puts Colour On. In this video I'm going to be sharing all of my completed pages for the month of August. As you can see, I did get a fair few done in some cute and cozy books, but I did get some done in a couple of other books as well. It was a bit of a different month, August, because I was away for about 3 weeks and I only took Ivy and the Inky Butterfly away with me, which you'll know if you caught my recent kind of travel video of, you know, what I was taking away with me. But I'm still pleased with how much I managed to get done, and still, even though there was cute and cozy books, still managed to get quite a bit of variety done because there's kind of different styles in amongst those books. So let me get these moved out of the way and get started. I will link as many books as I can down in the description below. They will all be Amazon affiliate links, but it won't cost you anything extra to purchase that way, but it will help to support the channel. And if you're interested, I do now have memberships available. There is different levels, so if you're interested, take a look on my channel. If you click on the join button, it doesn't automatically join you, but it does show you the different levels with the different prices and, you know, what you get for each level. So I'm very excited to have that on the channel. And obviously, if you do enjoy watching my videos, if you could please click subscribe, it wouldn't mean a lot to me. But let's get into it. So the first book that I managed to get a bit more done in was Leon's Journey by Kanoko Igusa. Now previously I had coloured Leon, and that was all that I'd got done on this page. As you can see, still didn't quite manage to get it finished before I went away on holiday. I'm hoping I'll get him finished this month. So hopefully when you check out my September's completed pages, because I've only got him left to do and that's it, then hopefully it'll be done. So I carried on using Prismacolors and just a few gel pens for all of this. So I didn't really know what to do for the scroll up here, I must admit. So I just used the same colours that I'd used on this scroll here and used that up there with a pink Pentel sparkly pen, you know, the dual hybrid one. That was it up there. And then down here for Lily, Marie, Latte and Mocha, and the little chick, again used all Prismacolors, little bit of white gel pen detail and pink gel pen for the writing. I'll just bring it up a bit so you can see the detail. I'm really pleased with how they turned out. I thought with Latte and Mocha, you know, I did one lighter, one slightly darker, like to match the drinks. As you see, I did start over here, got the leaves done, partly got the banner done. That was it, and I think it is showing up on camera. Me being me, did the writing, thought the pen was dry, got it on my hand and I accidentally smudged the pink gel pen over there. Tried to cover it up with a white gel pen, but of course, you know, the white has just picked up the pink and now it just looks white. So they can need to work out what to do. But I'm thinking, because there's a moon there, I'll use a dark acrylic pen, maybe just box him in. I don't know, because then it might make the other ones look too bad, or I might try again going over with white again, see if I can maybe use an acrylic pen this time rather than a gel pen. Hopefully that might work better. So I haven't got them up yet, but I am hoping to get the colour combinations for all of these characters up onto my Ko-fi store at some point. It will be free to download because I have already got Leon on there. So I thought, if nothing else, even if nobody else wants to use it, at least then I've got like a permanent record in case I lose my notebook that I've got it written in. At least then I can double check what I did, because I do want to keep the characters looking as much as I can the same through the book. Yeah, hopefully I will get that page completely finished soon. Then we're on to my only buddy colour that I did in August, because I knew that I was going to be away such a lot. I limited how many buddy colours I did to literally just one. So we got Fuzzy Meowies here, and it was with the wonderful Jess from Colouring Bumblebee, and we'd picked out this cute Alice in Wonderland page. So I used alcohol markers here, my ohuhu ones, and then some white gel pen detail, and then some gold sparkly pen up there on the chair, and then some sparkly watercolour paint as well on the sugar cubes, and I'm really pleased with how they turned out. Wasn't too sure what to do with the colours. Kind of knew that I wanted the Alice character to be wearing blue, and then I just thought, well, I don't know, green. And kind of looked and thought, right, well, I'll go with purple, because I thought that'll go with blue and green, and I thought I didn't want to bring in too many other colours. So that's why I basically used the colours that were on their outfits to do like the teapots and the cups and everything. So I'm really pleased with how that turned out. And let me show you Jess's page here. I know she kind of thought the same as me of, you know, Alice Blue, and I wasn't too sure what to do. And then obviously her pages turned out beautifully. I know when she messaged saying she'd finished it, she wasn't too sure about the pink that she'd done for the table, but actually I think it looks really cool. It's given it a really nice bright pop of colour, so I really like how her page turned out. And it's always so lovely to see on Buddy Colours, like how, you know, the same page can turn out two completely different ways. It's always such a lot of fun. And the kind of the little paints that I used were little samples from a company called Archie Paints on Etsy. I'll link it down in the description below. And I just used various like little sample cards. She sells like bundles, like mystery ones. And although you'd think actually there's not a lot of paint on these bits of card, it goes a surprisingly long way. And what I do really like about it is it's a really good way of giving you lots of different colour, you know, different colours of paints without spending loads on like massive palettes that you think, oh, I'm not going to use those up. And that it's given me lots of different colours to choose from. So I would recommend checking that out. So I did get a couple of pages done in the front as well. And I have started to try and remember to date my pages, which is something that I've literally only just started doing. So hopefully I'll get into the habit and remember to put the date on. So I thought while I'd got the book out, got my alcohol markers out, I thought, right, I'll do like the first couple of pages. So I did this one here, the Rapunzel page, again, just alcohol markers, a little bit of white gel pen, and that was that on that one. Obviously, it did go through to the back, and there's kind of bits you could colour, but I kind of figured, well, I'm not really bothered about colouring them. I'd rather colour that cute image. And then here, again, I coloured the Book Belongs To page again, just alcohol markers, a little bit of white gel pen. That was a really quick one to do, not that exciting to be honest, because a lot of it was just black, but I do quite like how it turned out in the end. I think it's quite sweet. He looks so serious with his eyebrows. I think he looks quite comical, doesn't he? And then the colour test page, I don't think I'm going to colour in this book, unless I don't know, the mood might strike me one day, but I can't see me colouring that because it's a bit boring, isn't it? They're all basically the same. So yeah, I'm not going to be colouring those in, I don't think. So yeah, that was the pages that I got done out of Fuzzy Meowies. Then I thought I'll go on to the pages in Ivy and Inky Butterfly, and I'll finish off with all my other cute and cozy pages at the end. So like I mentioned in my travel video, this is the book that I was taking away on holiday with me. It's kind of the closest thing I've got to a project book. Been working on it for years and years now, still nowhere near done. I think according to the bookshelf app that I'm keeping track of things in, I think I'm about 25% done, so sort of getting there, but you know, equally still a lot left to do. But I did manage to get quite a few pages done while I was away, which I was really pleased at. If for no other reason, I had already started a few pages before I went, so they were kind of already whips. So this page was mostly done, to be fair. I think I only had to do the inside part, the grey for the wall, and I think that bit there, I think I'd already got everything else done. So I've just used various pencils, mainly my Castle Art pencils, but this has been kind of a work in progress for quite a while now. So yeah, Inktense, Castle Art pencils, a few others, and then lots of gel pens, and I think I used a pastel tint grey for the wall, and obviously lots of sparkly gel pens. Wasn't too sure what to do for the inside, to be honest, and then I thought, well, I'll just try and keep it quite cohesive, quite minimal, which is why I ended up with that. And I think it turns out quite nicely. I figured the pots and things kind of match your outfit, and then because there's no pink on the outside, it kind of makes it stand out a little bit. And then I also finished this page. Again, this one was also a whip. I think I'd based the pink flowers in water-based marker, and I think I'd already got the blue flowers and I think the leaves done, so I only had to do the purple and then do a bit of shading and detailing. So I did come in with not just shading, with a gel pen as well on the little pink flowers, so that didn't take too long to do. I think it was the pastel tint pencils I think I used for the purple. So I was relatively quick to finish this double page spread, like I say, because it was kind of already underway anyway. But then I'd got these pages, which the only bit I'd got done on this massive double page spread was the kind of the grass bit down the bottom. I'd based all the light coloured grass with a water-based marker before I went away, but other than that, nothing else on these pages was coloured. So I was quite pleased actually to get this double page spread done. So I used Inktense pencils for quite a lot of it actually, for the pink, I think they're sweet peas, aren't they? So the pink sweet peas and the leaves, and also the little flowers that I decided to do kind of an orangey colour. I did Inktense, and then I went in with a bit of shading with my Castle Art pencils over everything, a little bit of white gel pen. I wasn't quite sure what to do for the little mushrooms, because I normally do mushrooms red, but then when I looked at the page, I thought if I do red there, I think it's just, I don't know, with the orange over there, I thought it was going to look a bit strange if I did red over there when there was orange there, which is why I decided to use the same colours that I'd got over there. I brought them over here for the little mushroom houses, so I thought then it would balance it out. And then obviously we've got the little bee there, add a little bit of sparkle to his wings with a silver gel pen. I just really lightly coloured, because of course I did this on holiday. I hadn't got any chalk pastels or anything with me, so I just coloured really lightly with the pencil to add a little bit of like the smoke effect. This one was quite fun to do actually, because once I'd picked the pink for the sweet peas, I just went through, did all the pink bits, did all the green bits. So though I thought, gosh, there's a lot on these pages to do, it actually came together relatively quickly. And I love sweet peas. They're such a pretty flower, so quite enjoy doing that double page spread. And then I still got more done. I was really surprised with how much I got done, because usually when we go away, we're not in an awful lot. We're out, and then by the time we get back in at night, normally I'm too tired. But actually, we did have a few evenings where we were in, so I did manage to get a little bit more done than I thought. So again, this was another page where I had already done some work on it before I'd gone away. So previously I'd based pink flowers with a water-based marker, and I'd also done the little green leaves with the water-based marker. So there wasn't too much to do. I did a little bit of shading with some Castle Art pencils on the flowers. Decided not to bother on the leaves because they're a bit small. I don't think there's much point shading them. And then I went in with a pink gel pen and a gold gel pen to do like the centres and the little details. So it's really simple on that one. But it was quite nice. I put a YouTube video on, put my headphones in. My husband was sat watching, whatever he wanted to watch on the TV while I did it while we were away. So it was quite nice. I could focus on, kind of listening to whatever video it was I'd got on while I got this done. So that was fun. And then this really bright page. But at this point, I thought, I've done a lot of green, I've done a lot of pinks. I want some different colours. So I thought, well, I'll use the same oranges that I'd used earlier. And I kind of dotted that round. And I thought, I just can't have them all being the same colour, because I figured that might look a bit odd. So yeah, that's why we kind of just ended up with this really bright, bold page, and I love it. So I did Inktense base on all of the flowers, and then went in with just a little bit of quick shading on all of the flowers. Just used one pencil, coloured all the centres the same colour, because I thought then that I'd kind of tie them together a little bit. I think I had already based the leaves, so then I just did a tiny bit of shading on the leaves. I went round them and added a bit of detail with a Pentel dual hybrid pen, so nice and sparkly there. Again, we've got the little bee, so I tried to use the same colours that I'd used previously, and added that sparkle again to its wings. And then I'd bought a new jelly roll pen while we were away, so I used that one just to edge a couple of the flowers, so they do stand out a little bit. But I do quite like that, because I think it just makes them pop and makes them look like, I don't know, they're a bit taller than the other ones. I don't know. I quite like it. I wasn't too sure whether to do a background, and then in the end I kind of thought, well, there's not really much background there to bother with, so I decided not to, partly because I wanted the bee to kind of still stand out, so that if I do a dark background, its body's going to get lost, and thought blue wouldn't work because I figured this is looking down on a flower field. So yeah, I decided to call it a day on that one. And still got more done. I got this double page done. So again, a bit like with the other pages, I based an awful lot with Inktense. Went over with either my Castle Art Soft Touch or the pastel tint pencils that I'd took with me. Again, used the same colours for the bee, although I seem to remember, I think his stripe pattern of the black and yellow isn't the same on that page as it is on here. So in the end, I added an extra stripe because I thought if not, he's got to either have a yellow head or a black bum, and then that wouldn't match with that one. So I did have to add a little bit in. I think it was there. I added a bit of extra stripe of black in just so that it hopefully matched a little bit better. I don't know, slight OCD-ness there, I think. Little bit of gel pen again on the wings, and yeah, really pleased with that. Wasn't quite sure what to do for the parcels, and then in the end I thought, right, I'll do them kind of old-fashioned, you know, as if they've been wrapped up with brown paper and string. And then I thought, well, it's a post box, wanted to pop a red there, so that it wasn't the only bit of red. I did some red and gold on the little lanterns around the page, just to try and spread those colours around a bit, and obviously coloured the little stamps in red as well, so I think that helped to balance it a little bit better. And then did add in some gel pen details on lots of the flowers, which hopefully you can see there. So again, a little bit daunting to start with. I think I did the bee first, then I knew that I thought, well, they're dandelions, so I wanted to do them yellow, so I kind of did them. Remember that those flowers look the same as the ones on the previous page, then it just kind of all came together as I chipped away at it, so I'm really pleased with that. Again, I wasn't sure whether to add a background. If I'd have had chalk pastels with me, maybe I might have added a little bit, but in the end I thought I'll just leave it, because I think if I add a background, I think it's just going to look a bit too busy with having the writing and the images, and yeah, I thought I'd leave it at that for that one. And then this is what I got done on the next bit. So I've based those ones with some Inktense. That's it so far on that. And then by this point, I did that. I was bored of flowers, so I did skip on a little bit, and I coloured this page with the two little bits just so that I wasn't colouring more flowers, because I was a bit bored of flowers by that point, I must admit. So I just used pastel tint pencils on these. So these were obviously, it was a really, really quick page to do. So I've got a bit of gel pen on those as well. And then I really like how the heron turned out. I think it looks really pretty, and really nice delicate colours on the flowers as well. So yeah, I did that one and then skipped back to this one because I've had a little break from flowers. I'll get back to it now. So this will probably sit as a WIP for quite a while, because although it's kind of a project book, I'm not aiming to work on it every single month. It's definitely a book I want to try and take away with me whenever I do go on holiday, but you know, at the minute we're not going away anytime soon, so I might pick it up and colour some random bits when I fancy, but might not be seeing this book for a while. But I'm really pleased actually with how many pages I got done, because I got that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I've got 9 pages done in this book, which I was really, really pleased at. Far more than I thought I would. So I'm really chuffed to have got all of that lot done. So yeah, maybe in the future, if you'd like to do buddy colour with me in Ivy and the Inky Butterfly, I've got a good chunk, especially of all the back bit of the book. I think my next bit obviously is that, and then previously I have coloured that bit and that bit. Like, I have picked random pages sometimes to colour depending on what I fancy. So yeah, if you've got this and maybe towards the back half of your book isn't coloured and you like to do a buddy colour sometime, maybe not till the new year, because I know I've got a lot of buddy colours lined up for September and October. Obviously then November, December, I want to try and get some Christmas colouring done. So maybe January. Anybody up for buddy colouring this? Please let me know. So then we are on to all the rest of the cute and cozy books. So we've got Nina Luma's Snuggly Friends here, Travelling the World. I didn't realise actually that, which I should have done, being as the fact it's not just called Snuggly Friends, that there is a series of these books with these characters in, but this is the only one I've got by this artist. As you'll see here, I have made a note of what colours I've used for the different characters. So I coloured them here. So it's quite nice that that's on like the introduction page. So I made a note of what colours so that I can try and keep them the same throughout this book. So that was just my ohuhu markers. Decided to go for my set that I've had for a few months, where it's got the chisel and the fine tip, just to make sure that they're still getting some use. And then obviously, unfortunately, can't colour that little design there, but I knew that I wanted to use alcohol markers because that's what I wanted to use in the rest of the book, so I set to sacrifice that cute little image there. And then did this one here, which is quite sweet. Quite like the colours that I used there on the little xylophone, and he looks so happy in there, doesn't he? So again, just alcohol markers, bit of white gel pen, that was it on that one. And again, just alcohol markers, bit of white gel pen. And what was nice is because I'd got the list of what colours to use, that was so super quick to do because I already knew what colours to use for the actual characters, and then it was just picking colours for the little flowers and the hula skirts. That was really quick to do. Nice fun one. It's a nice simple one. Then I did decide to colour the kind of like the colour palette test page in on this book, so it's quite sweet with it being different images and not just, you know, a star repeated or, you know, whatever else repeated. There been lots of different motifs, so I picked out just a few colours and then kind of dotted them throughout the page to try and make it kind of look a little bit cohesive and not completely random. So I obviously picked some colours there for the waffle and the ice cream, and then kind of brought those colours through. Just got a little bit stuck on the honey jar. I did the actual honey jar and then I wasn't quite sure what to do for the lid. So then I just kind of looked at the rest of the page and thought, well, I've got quite a lot of purple. I've got quite a lot of the greens on already. So that's why I kind of landed on the pink there, but I quite like that one. It's quite fun to do, quite quick. It was nice just having a pile of markers next to me and just thinking, right, I'll dot this colour here, there and everywhere, try and make it all look quite balanced. And then the actual main page that I did in this book was this one. So I'm really pleased with how this turned out. So it was my alcohol markers for most of it, as you can see. I wasn't quite sure what to do for their outfits. Like, I coloured the characters because obviously I already knew what colours I wanted those. And then I thought, oh, I don't know what colour clothes would these characters wear. So I thought, well, they're obviously friends rather than a family, but I thought actually I'll keep them quite coordinated. So I kind of kept some of the colours the same throughout some of the outfits, just to make that bit kind of not look quite so random. And obviously their little accessories that I'm guessing they've bought, kind of kept them all the same and used the same colours on them as on the actual rocket. And then on the clouds and the kind of smoke cloud, I guess, I used just some cheap watercolour paints that my husband bought me for Christmas from Temu. So I've got this, he bought me quite a few different ones. Some of them are little, and then I got this big one. So I just used like one of these light kind of opaly colours. So that's why it doesn't look particularly coloured. It just looks kind of nice and shiny, and that was what I was hoping for. And then went round the line on the cloud with a white gel pen. So yeah, it took a little while, this one, because actually there's quite a lot of details to it. And then obviously went a bit bright there with the flames. So I thought, right, that's why I kind of used that colour there, just again to try and tie it in. So yeah, quite pleased with that one. Kept it quite simple, not adding like any textures or anything. But I think with the cute and cozy books, yes, you can go crazy with adding loads of textures, patterns and everything. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with just keeping it nice and simple and quite quick and fun to do. So that one was Snuggly Friends by Nina Luma. Then we've got another Fuzzy Meowies one. So we've got Fuzzy Meowies 2 here. So obviously the new season of Wednesday was out in August. So that kind of got me inspired to colour my Wednesday pages. So I did this title page here. I'm really pleased actually with how Thing turned out. I added a little bit of the purple, coloured, then not just the hand, but the bit that I put purple, coloured over it with the grey, so then it kind of toned it down, and I really like how that turned out, because I wasn't quite sure how to tackle it. And I think it looks quite good. So as you see, it did keep quite a limited colour palette, the purple, blacks and greys, just to try and make it, you know, look like Wednesday a little bit. And then I did this page here, the book belongs to you page. Now, annoyingly, when I was colouring this, I think it's when I was doing the lighter part of the grey, when I was taking the lid off the alcohol marker, I ended up with ink splattering out onto the page. So it's not super noticeable, but annoyingly, it did go all over the character's face. And I'd already coloured the face, so I thought, well, I didn't want to go in with like a the alcohol blender to try and lighten it, because I thought, I'd already coloured his face. So I just left it to dry, and then in the end I looked at it and thought, actually it just kind of looks like freckles, and to be fair, on the camera it's not super noticeable. So yeah, it's a little bit annoying, but you know, is what it is. Just made sure to try and remember to take the lids off my alcohol markers away from my pages in the future, but no doubt I'll end up forgetting again sometime. I think it was my old cheap alcohol markers I was using on this, just to try and make sure they don't dry up, you know, before they're actually used. And then I used just a little bit of gold gel pen for the buckle and the star, bit of white gel pen, and then that was it on that one. So again, this colour test page, I don't think I'm going to colour, because that's a bit boring. It's nowhere near as cute as that little colour test page, is it? Might do it if I'm particularly bored one day, but I can't see it happening myself. So then I did this Wednesday page. This one I think I did as a short. So if you've not seen that short, if you take a look at my channel, you'll see this page coming together. So I basically borrowed from the front of the book, because it's basically the same image, more or less, just shrunk a little bit. So you can see I did decide to change the stars though, because I did this one first and I thought, oh, I don't know about the yellow, don't think it looks quite right. So then I decided to go even more, you know, kind of Wednesday themed, and just literally stuck to the black, the greys and the purples on this, and I think it looks so much better here than that one there. That just looks a bit too cheery. So I'm really pleased with how that turned out. Again, thing I coloured with I think I used the same colour as I did on the ears, but then went over it with the grey so that it really toned it down, and just added a bit of white gel pen on the nails as well, and obviously various other places. So I'm really pleased with how that one turned out. It was a lot of fun to do. Wasn't quite sure what to do for the background, because I thought it's a big area, I don't know about colouring the whole thing. So in the end I just decided to add like a little bit of like vague shadow effect with a grey pen, and I think it turned out all right actually. Certainly glad that I didn't colour the whole thing, because that was the thing, that was the bit I wasn't sure about. Like, if I colour the whole bit of the background, what colour do I go for without it then making the main parts of the image look a bit odd? So yeah, really pleased with how that turned out. That was a fun one to do. So that was Fuzzy Meowies 2, and then did a tiny bit in Fuzzy Meowies 3. So I did this one on a live stream. So by this point I'd obviously already coloured Wednesday a couple of times, so I'd kind of got the colours put aside. I think I stuck with mostly the same, changed a little bit, but more or less stuck to the same. And then I thought, right, let's make this side really nice, bright and colourful. Obviously didn't quite do the window the same as it is in the show, but I'm really pleased with how it turned out. And then I decided to keep obviously the floorboards and the wall behind looking the same, and I kind of tried to add a little bit of texture in on like the brickwork, which I think didn't turn out too bad actually. I quite like it. I don't normally try and do things like that, but I think it was quick and simple to do, but I think it looks quite effective. And then I really like how I added like a little bit of pink into the leaves on the plants over here. So yeah, this was a lot of fun to do. So if you wanted to see this one taking shape, you could check out the live stream that's up on my channel. I do try and live stream every Monday. Obviously they've not been live streaming in August with being away, but should be getting back to it now. You know, and all being well, every Monday I'll be streaming. And if you're a member of the Lunar tier or the Amiga tier, there will also be a live stream once a month. Not too sure what day to do it on yet. I need to, check with the people who've already become members what day might work best for them and kind of check my calendar, see. Might not always be able to stick to the same day each week for the members live stream, like each month, because if I've got things going on at school, it might have to change a little bit, but I will try, to keep it the same as much as I can. So then, anyway, we are on to Silly Crimes by Hikaru Kotz here. So again, I did like the little title pages at the front, and again kept a note of the colours of the characters. Might not keep them the same all through the book, depending on what they're up to on the page. I might change the colours, but I thought if I write it down, I've got the option of keeping it the same if I want to. So I've got this one here. So I coloured this bit, and I thought, I'm not quite sure what to do for the writing. So I decided to just pick out some of the brighter colours from the design and just repeated those through. And I really like how that turned out. That was quick, simple to do, but I think it looks quite cool. And then I did this little one here. So again, I've got the colours, noted down for them. And then the actual main page that I did was this one. So this was such a lot of fun to do. So I used alcohol markers for the whole bit. It was, I've not written down which set of my ohuhus it is. Want to say it is my Honolulus, I think, because I seem to remember using a brush tip for these, but I might be wrong. So I used alcohol markers to base everything. Hopefully you can see on the camera. Use some of my Languo gel pens to add a little bit of like grass detail in. Used a red sparkly watercolour paint for the balloon. So did go a little bit patchy, but that's more the paper rather than the paint, but I still really like how it looks. Makes it look nice and bright and shiny. And yeah, that was quite a simple one to do, because obviously there's big blocks of just that green, just kind of the bluey grey down there. So I used a different colour than for the pavement, because I thought then it looks like there's water there. And obviously added the white gel pen details in. So yeah, very pleased with how that turned out. And I think for the raindrops, I used a Languo gel pen in like a really light blue colour. So yeah, that was a lot of fun to do. Husband said it got to be a yellow raincoat, so that's why I did yellow there, but that was a lot of fun to do. I always think they look really funny on the back, so you can see there all the bit that I did with alcohol marker, apart from the balloon. And then obviously I didn't need to do a lot of colouring on them. I was just leaving them white. So yeah, that was fun to do. So this is a silly crimes book. It's not like one of the, kind of the rude or secretly scary ones. It is just silly ones. I do like this book. We've got like the melting marshmallows there. We've got the bee, the bees chasing after. I think I've seen this one done on Instagram, and they'd coloured it like Winnie the Pooh, and I think they'd added the little red top as well, which I thought was a really clever idea. Like, there is a lot of things that you can do on these, and they're just so silly. So yeah, it was a fun one. Then we've got Coco Wyo's Comfy Days. And again, like I've been doing with the other books, I've been making a note of the colours that I use. So these have been done with my Honolulus. I remembered to write this down. So my ohuhu ones have got the brush tip. So it felt a little bit strange in August, colouring what is most definitely a Christmassy page. But I thought I wanted to colour the title page while I'd got the book out. So there we have it. So I decided to go for like a really kind of very light peachy colour for the snow, because I didn't want to do it blue because I thought that'd look a bit cold. So yeah, quite pleased with how that turned out. I like the colours of the scarf, and then how the writing looks at the top. So that was obviously quick to do. And I used two different coloured greens for the tree, like a dark one and then a very slightly lighter one. So I like how the tree turned out as well. And then we did this little chap. So I really like this one, how I did their slippers. So I did colour it just one colour, then splodged on a bit of the darker one from the hat, and then went on with a white gel pen just to try and make it look a little bit fuzzy, which when you look closely looks a bit odd, but I think from a distance it does make it look like it's soft fuzzy slippers, so I'm really pleased with that. It didn't take long. I've seen some people do amazing things with alcohol markers, and I think, gosh, that must have taken a long time. I haven't got the patience for that. To me, my alcohol markers are let's get some colour down quick and have fun and feel like I've accomplished something relatively quickly and easily. So when I do add like slight effects with gel pens or my alcohol markers, do try and keep it nice and simple and quick. And I really like the colours that I picked there for the flowers. That was that little hippo page. And then the main page that I did was this one. So when I'd initially picked this page out for my colouring plans, I'd focused more on the fact that it looked like, one of the crane games, where you can win the cuddly toys, which my daughter loves doing when we're away on holiday, because we normally find some quite cool, arcades and things when we're away in America. So I picked this page, and then when I looked at it closely, I was like, oh, they're Christmassy, because there's a Santa, and then there's a reindeer, and what looks most definitely like a Christmas tree to me. And obviously they are wearing like a bobble hat and a scarf. But I thought, let's just go for it anyway. I'd picked it out. I thought I can kind of vaguely make it look a bit summery with having like pink flowers. Obviously there's the carrot, which I guess is kind of Christmassy, and it could be Rudolph's carrot, but I don't know. It was a bit strange colouring Christmassy things in August, because I don't normally do like Christmas in July or anything like that. I do tend to stick to doing Christmas things in November, December, at a push January. So it was a bit different, but I really like how it turned out, and it did really make me look forward to going away, because I did this right at the start of the month, as you see, on the 2nd of August, before we went away. So it did make me look forward to going away with my daughter, because I imagine that being my husband, that being my daughter, watching him, hoping desperately that he'd win. And we did manage to find quite a cool claw arcade, and I'm pleased to say that we did win quite a few. So she's got a whole collection now on her bed. There's a whole thing trying to move them every night, but she's happy, so there we are. So yeah, this was all alcohol markers, just a little bit of white gel pen, and that was it. And I quite like how I did the shading on the bone and the snowman, because I just used one colour, just add a tiny bit of shading, and then just left the rest uncoloured, and I think that looks quite effective. I wasn't sure whether to do anything on the clouds, so I did all the rest of it and then looked at it and thought, I don't think it needs anything extra. I think it looks fine as it is. So yeah, really pleased with how that one turned out. This is such a gorgeous book. I do really need to get some more coloured in this one, because they're so cute. I do really like this. So that was Comfy Days by Coco Wyo. And then the last page that I've got to share with you is from Cozy Hawaii. Well, I say page, a few pages actually, because again, I managed to do some of the title pages at the start. So I did this happy little chap here. So I thought, right, it's Hawaii, summery, beaches, let's go nice, bright, bold colours. So really like how that turned out. And then did this one. Again, just alcohol markers, white gel pen. Looks a little bit odd there, because I picked up the green pen, coloured that, and then had a look at it and thought, hang on a minute, that's part of the flower, because it's the same shape as those petals. It's not the same shape as the leaf. So I used my blender pen, let it dry, obviously coloured back over it. Doesn't match, but at least it's not got a random green bit there. It vaguely matches the rest of the flowers, so that's going to have to do, unfortunately. It's a little bit annoyed after I've done that, because now probably you've looked at that and just, oh, that looks nice colours on the flowers there. To me, I'm just going to notice that mistake every time, but oh well, it's on the colouring page. And then I did these little ones here. So again, this was quite quick to do, because there's only a few colours. I must admit, I wasn't quite sure what colours to do the clothes, which is why kind of the top and the trousers match, and the top and the trousers match, and then I decided to leave the t-shirt white, because I just didn't know what else to do with it. But I think it looks quite sweet. And then the actual page that I did was this one. So again, this was another one that I did on a live stream on the channel, so if you want to see this coming together, you could check that out. So I knew that I wanted him to have a yellow raincoat and her to have a red raincoat, and then I wasn't quite sure what else to do, so I kind of, you know, coloured bits, kept those pens to the side. I knew I wanted obviously the leaves to be green, knew I wanted this bit to be brown with it looking like wood, and then it was kind of just deciding what colours to do the fruits and the umbrella and the handbag. That took me a little while to decide what to do for that, but I really like how it turned out in the end. I think it's really sweet, really nice and summery, even though obviously they're dressed up in their rain clothes and, you know, there's puddles on the floor. So that was really fun one to do. I love the colours, just so nice and bright and vibrant. So yeah, just alcohol markers, a little bit white gel pen, and that was it. So that's all of the pages that I got done in August. So I did get done quite a few more than I'd initially thought, especially in Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. I'm really pleased with how many I got done. So let me know in the comments down below, which was your favourite page that I did this month. Was it one from Ivy and the Inky Butterfly? Was it one of the cute and cozy ones? Let me know in the comments down below. It'd be lovely to hear from you. Please like and subscribe, you know, all that good stuff, because it does help my channel to reach more people, and it is very, very much appreciated. So take care, everyone, and I'll catch you in the next one.